Well, let's get started. So everybody can see the screen that says Video Marketing 2.0. All right, I've got some great stuff. I know most of you don't have your camera on. That's okay. I may call on you anyway. So here's my little elevator pitch. I sold real estate for 4 years for Prudential. I've been originating loans for 30 years now. We've closed over 4,000 loans here in Atlanta in the Southeast. And currently, I lead a mortgage branch and I help originators and real estate agents build their business. I'm hoping to do some of that today. Now I create content that generates opportunities. The whole business seems to shift every 3 years. Now I kind of consider myself a content creator. Oh, there's Ryan. Okay. So I'm here with my assistant Jessica and processor. She's awesome, and she's going to monitor the chat. If you want to put a question, just put it in the chat, and we'll try and grab it right away. Okay, first of all, with your Instagram setup, if you don't have your camera on, that's fine. If you can find the little yellow hand so I can see sometimes if you participate. So who's got an Instagram account right now? Okay, good. So here's a little setup feature. This will only take you a minute, but you want to make sure in Instagram that you're set up as a professional account. You also want to go in and choose the industry that you're in. This one says mortgage brokers. Yours is going to say real estate. And then you want to make sure that the type of account is creator account. This is going to open up a lot more of the features that Instagram has. Okay, let's talk about that profile. A lot of people do this in like 2 seconds and they don't give it much thought. But here's some strategies. Number one is you want to put your differentiator. This is kind of your brand. We're going to talk a little bit more about brand later. But how do you position yourself? Are you the fastest? Are you the cheapest? Are you the most knowledgeable? Are you the king of Roswell, Georgia? How do you position your marketing? You want to put that very first. Okay. Then your descriptor. This is a little bit more details like works with first-time home buyers, specialist, or whatever qualities you think that separate you. Okay, then I would put an accomplishment. If you're new to the industry, so I've been doing, I'm an OG, so I've got over 4,000 closings. But maybe you're new to the industry, or you're part of a group, or you're part of an office. Put some kind of stat in there. Even if you have to use other people's numbers, you can say, our group closed 100. We helped 100 families last year, or something like that. That gives you some legitimacy. In the mortgage business, we always have to put our license number. And then you want to use a program called Linktree. Who knows what Linktree is or who's actively using Linktree right now? So awesome, Lauren. And Lisa, great. So Linktree is like a landing page that is kind of like a traffic intersection that sends people to all of your different sites and on social media, website, and so forth. And it's important. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about setting that up. As far as video settings on your phone, people ask me this all the time. Should I shoot 4K or this or that? So what I shoot in is 4K, 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second is fine. As that number increases, it makes those files bigger and bigger. If you were shooting something that was fast action, you would want to go to 60 frames per second, but then it's going to double the size of that file. So if you're doing a selfie video, you certainly don't need it. The other thing with selfie videos, I use the feature that's called cinematic view. And what that's going to do is it's going to blur some of the stuff in the background and highlight your face a little bit more. If you're shooting other types of videos, maybe an open house or this or that, then I would switch to just the regular video setting that's in your iPhone. Now, I'm speaking a lot about iPhones because I have one and use one, and about 80% of the people do. But if you have a Samsung or whatever, they have great cameras too, and they have all these features. They're just called a little different. Okay, so Linktree offers two. It offers a free version and a paid version. Honestly, all the features are exactly the same. The paid version lets you make it a little prettier. That's the one on the right. But I use the free version because it's got everything that I need. So what you want to do when you set up your link tree is you want to offer help first. So your first inclination is I'm going to put my website, then I'm going to put my Zillow reviews, and then I'm going to put my Facebook. And that those are useful buttons to add, but you want to phrase it a little differently. You see how I do it? I put start your home buyer journey here. So that puts the highlight on the customer. Lower your mortgage payment. Get the cash you need. So for a real estate agent, you would have buttons like find out what your home is worth or the hottest markets in your area, something like that that's focused on them, not just a button that says information for buyers and information for sellers. Through Linktree, you can offer information guides, which I think is a great tool to capture leads. We're going to talk about that as well. Think about what buyers and sellers are searching for. It's okay to link your websites and your listings. Nothing wrong with that, but the first two or three should be focused on the consumer. We're going to show you how to use forms to capture leads as well in Linktree. It's another feature, even on the free version. And of course, you can come up with your own snazzy little name. I use reachsteven.com. It's basically the simplest thing I can think of that has my name in it. Okay, Linktree forms. Now, this doesn't look like much. It's just a little cut and paste, but I wanted to show you that you can set up a form very easily with a short questionnaire. So this one says what type, where are you buying? It has a space to type in a city. What type of home, single family. It has radio buttons. And, you know, I have one that says, what is your timetable? Where are you in the home buying process? So I just wanted to show you that you can easily set up these forms in Linktree. Literally take you 5 minutes to do it. If you want something super simple, like, hey, if you need more information, just contact me. You can do a simple contact form. And then you get these email notifications. Now, how terrific is this? You get an email that says, new form answer, and it has all the information for you. This came from Linktree. This person's looking for a single family home in Atlanta. They just got started. It's going to be their primary residence, and they have not served in the military, which for me means no VA loan. But anyway, and it gives you down below their email, their phone number, all that good stuff. So, who thinks getting these lead forms in your email would be a good idea? It's like a little Christmas present, right? Okay, so what type of videos work? So, myth busting is a great topic. The old three things to put in your contract lists, three mistakes people make, how to avoid them, story-based videos. So people love that whole voyeur thing where where people like to look in on other people. It's kind of an obsession in this country right now. So you put a little story, hey, I just helped a young couple buy a home in Alpharetta. That's boring. So if you add details and you say, I just helped a young couple, the wife is a school teacher and the husband is a software engineer, and you give some little bit of details. They were looking for a home that had a basement because the wife is a painter and she wanted to set up a studio, and people are like, oh yeah, uh-huh, and they get involved with those details, even though to you and me they may not sound important. Okay, neighborhood or house tours, very popular. Reaction videos to news headlines. That's where you can say, a recent article in the Wall Street Journal says that the NAR says that 62% of all of the cities are growing faster than 5% on the real estate values. And then you can then give your reaction. Well, this may be true in New York and LA, but in smaller towns, we're finding the market's a little bit slower or whatever. And people like that, and it's easy because the information is already there to react to. All right, mistakes to avoid. Obviously, people are very interested, how to make sure that you don't lose thousands of dollars when you do this or that. Offering a value item. And we're going to talk about this some more. It's been very helpful for me to offer like a home buyer booklet or a guide to a particular city. So the idea with videos in general is that you don't try and hard sell. You provide value before CTA. Does everybody know what CTA is? That's call to action. And some marketing gurus will be like, always have a CTA, always ask them to take the next step. Well, it's a little bit salesy. So most realtors fail at social media because their posts are too self-serving. They're buy my listing, you know, list your home with me, work with me as a buyer's agent. I'm this and I'm that. I just closed 1 million loans last month. I just made $10 million. I mean, people don't care. So use this is kind of from Gary V. Use the give, 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 ask strategy. It's okay to ask once in a while. I mean, we do this for a living, right? But you have to give value 2 or 3 times first. You have to build that trust. Okay, agents who are building their business on social media. And this is another way that we kind of think about what is our brand? What are we going to be known for? Are we going to be the real estate agent that has a special knack to find the perfect house? Are we going to be the one that gets the most money for our sellers? Are we going to be the one that finds the best bargains for our buyers? Whatever it is, you just kind of have to find your niche. So these people have built a business on social media doing that. So Tanya's 2 Cents is a newsletter that she has built a following. This guy, Matt Leone, so he uses a variety of infotainment. That's where we kind of add a little bit of you know entertainment to our information. So Dan O'Neill, he does humor and skits. They're funny. He built a big following, almost 100,000 followers, and so that's not my personality. But if you've got that in you and you're a funny person and make people laugh, that's very powerful. Um, Byron does mostly talking head and interviews. So those are very kind of on the serious side. Jacqueline Liederman, I just like her name, right? Isn't that funny sounding? Jacqueline Liederman. Anyway, she does the interesting properties. She does that the tree house and the house that's completely round and the one that looks like a castle and things like that. And she built a big following from that. And then this Nicole Klein, so she's uses kind of a lifestyle brand. She's the one that takes the pictures in the private planes and stuff like that. So you find your own niche and you build your business. So nuts and bolts of video making. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So the first thing you need is the hook. This is that catchy intro that makes the video sticky. It's really the most important part. And unfortunately, you have about 3 seconds to capture people's attention. As far as equipment goes, our phones today have such terrific cameras that there's really no need to buy an expensive camera. You can if you want to, but the phones do a pretty good job. As far as a mic goes, you can see in this picture, I have like a podcast mic. You can buy them now for about $100. They're very high quality. And the other thing that I think is important is a soft light box. If you're the type that wants to do the videos in one particular place, at your desk or in a certain spot, I would have a soft light because you want that light on your face. Ring lights are too harsh, and you can kind of see a ring in the person's eye. These soft light boxes are not very expensive. You can get one anywhere from $75 to $150, and that's basically all your equipment right there in a nutshell. Okay, video editing. After you make the video, you don't want it highly edited, but you do have to make a few edits. I always think that the video, well, they do perform better if you have background music. And that's where creating that creator account, you're going to have access to thousands of songs. You can find the ones that are trending. Now, you want to make sure that if you're speaking, that you choose an instrumental so it doesn't fight with your voice. Any kind of motion draws the eye in. You can do that in editing and make it come closer and farther away, or you can actually physically move a little bit, but the motion makes it stickier. As far as video editors, I like edits. It's embedded in Instagram and it's free, which is always good. The length of the videos, you want them to be between about 15 and 60 seconds. Over 60 seconds, and they don't allow you to use all of the music because of copyright laws. Okay, any questions about this? What's in the chat? Oh,
Not a question, but a
okay.
comment if you don't mind. Lavalier mics, also very useful.
Okay. What is that? What are you showing me? A mic?
Like a wireless mic.
Oh, what they
So
call
the
it a
ability to do a
lavalier?
video without a podcast mic, having a little
They're ter
$25 wireless mic.
Thanks for sharing, Steve. They're terrific, and the price of them has come down tremendously, and the quality is amazing. And I see a lot of people do that, especially if they do interviews. They hold it, and they look interesting and they work really well. Okay, hook ideas. So this is kind of the bread and butter of doing the whole video marketing. So ways to save money. Of course, people love that. You can start with a hook, like nobody tells buyers this, but mistakes to avoid. If you're buying a home, you need to know this. Or save home buyers waste thousands of dollars on this one mistake. Well, I mean, who's not going to want to hear what you have to say after that? News trends. The trend is your friend. Obviously, we're in a day and age where news is coming out about every 5 seconds. Ideas from other successful content creators. They say nothing on the internet hasn't been stolen at least 3 times. We're going to talk about how to find some of that information. Overcoming obstacles, very powerful. Here's how you can buy a house, even if you have very little cash, something like that. Home value examples, these always do well. This is You can either do a still shot, or if you're at the property, you can walk through and you pick a round number and you say, here's what 400,000 will buy you in Woodstock, Georgia. A lot of them use a round number like $1 million. They go to different areas. Here's what $1 million buys in Buckhead. Here's what $1 million buys in Forsyth County. Invariably, you'll get all the people from California going, oh my God, that would be like $10 million if that was here. Okay, so here is the winning formula: hook, problem, solution. So you're going to think of the problem first. So the problem, let's say, is buyers don't have enough cash to close. And then you give them a hook and you say, you may be able to buy a home even if you don't have the cash saved up right now. So that's a little that's a hook, but that wasn't really a real sticky hook. Um, you could come up with something like even if you're short on cash, you may still be able to buy a house. Here's how. Okay, then you give them whoops. So that's the hook. The problem is, so many buyers today, even with good credit and good income, don't have enough money saved up for the down payment and closing costs and all the costs associated with buying a home. Solution: instead of asking the seller for a price reduction, ask them to pay for closing cost. This way, it saves you cash at closing. So you have the hook, then you tell them what the problem is, and then you tell them the solution. Does that make sense? Hey, Ryan, are you on the call? All right, Ryan's busy. Hey, Lisa, are you listening?
Yes.
Hey, Lisa, so give me a problem that a home buyer might have.
Um, Maybe being self-employed.
Okay, self-employed. Okay. So, um, give me a hook that has to do with self-employed people.
Maybe like something like own your own business. You can still buy a home or
Even if you're self-employed, you may still be able to buy a home. Okay, I like it. I like it. And then we state the problem. Many what is that? Many self-employed people, they don't report all their income, right?
right.
And then what would be like a good solution? Are they screwed or is there a solution?
I guess something like we have an option that fits you.
Okay, maybe like a stated income program or something like that. So there you go. So Lisa came up with a perfect one. So even if you're self-employed, you may be able to buy a home. Problem, many self-employed people don't show all their income. Solution, there's new programs like stated income and bank statement programs that allow uh, self-employed people to buy a home. This is very important, so I want to do another one. Maurice, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You work with buyers or sellers?
Actually doing commercial real estate,
Okay, commercial real estate, but we can still use an example. So what's the problem? So like people wanting to buy office buildings or something?
industrial,
Industrial,
warehouse, yep.
warehouse. Okay, so a guy looking for a warehouse. So what's a problem that comes up sometimes?
Clear heights.
Clear height, the height of it.
Yeah, the height of the ceiling within the warehouse.
Okay, that's kind of tough to overcome. I don't know how to fix the height of a ceiling. But any other problem with the transaction, something that comes up?
Not enough dock doors,
Not enough what?
dock doors, bay doors.
Okay. Okay, so these are tough, but so, what? Yeah, so I can't alter the building. Any problem with people?
Uh, Not enough people at times. Turnover.
Turnover on the okay. So there's turnover. Okay. So so okay, on the commercial building. So I don't know how to overcome that. So on the commercial side.
Okay.
So what do they do if if there's too much turnover?
Usually what they do is get with a staffing agency to try to get
Okay.
temporary
Awesome.
help.
Awesome. So the hook is even if you're understaffed, you may still be able to buy a commercial building. The problem is that many commercial buyers don't have enough staff to I don't I guess to run the business in the commercial building. The solution is that you could then hire a staffing agency that they could help you out. So, Jerry, give me something that's a little bit more residential I can work with.
I need to sell my house before I can buy anything.
Okay, great. So, I'd like to buy a new home, but all my equity is tied up in the old house, right?
Right.
Okay. So your hook could be something like what? So the hook could be
Are you aware that you might could buy another home even though you're underwater in your current home?
okay. Well, underwater makes it
I wouldn't use underwater
right.
though.
So here's the thing. So here's a hook. You may be able to buy a home today, even if you need to sell your other home to get the equity, right? The problem is that many buyers today that want to move up or downsize have all their equity tied up in their home. And it's difficult to time the transaction where you sell your home, you get that equity, and then you apply it towards a new home all at the same time. So that's your problem. The solution is we now have companies like Orchard and Knock that are buy before you sell. So for a small fee, they will actually give you a guaranteed contract on your current home. They'll release the equity. You can use that equity to buy a new home, and even if your home doesn't sell, they'll buy it from you. So that's the solution. That's a real solution. All right, do we kind of get the gist of that? You think of the problem, then the hook, then the solution. When we say it, we're going to do hook, problem, solution. I wanted to spend some time on that because it's important. Okay, so let's get to the nitty gritty on the video editing. So we talked about music, we talked about motion. The other thing that you're going to need is captions. There's just a little button that does all the captions for you automatically. I remember we used to have to use a different app, but now it's all done in the same app. And 50% of the people watch the videos with the sound off. So captions are very important. The descriptions and hashtags. So we use Chat GPT to write this. I mean, it's so easy. You can simply tell Chat GPT, write a description for an Instagram Reels that talks about the buy before you sell program, and it's going to give you a beautiful description and throw in the hashtags too. There's several free and cheap video editors. A lot of people love CapCut. Some people use Canva. Like I said, I like edits because it's free. The other thing is, if you are a type of person that needs to read the script for the video, Edits has a free teleprompter. Okay, where do you get the content? Well, like we said, we're going to steal a lot of content from some top producers. So if you go into Instagram and click this little magnifying glass, that's going to be your search. It's going to give you a screen like this. And there's a couple of features on this screen that are important. One of them is that it's going to show you the views. Any video that gets 1 million views that's about business or real estate is going to get my attention. I'm going to want to see that and see what that idea was. You can search Instagram for high performing posts. And the way you do that is two ways. Number one, the little heart that kind of look like a line with a heart on it, excuse me, up in the top right corner. So that's going to adjust the algorithm. And that's kind of the ongoing for your future searches. Whatever you put in there, it's going to give you more real estate, more investing, or whatever. But what if you want it right now? You can go to this For You button right here. You can see I put Atlanta real estate, and it's going to give me the a lot of the top producing content creators in the real estate business. You can see here 135,000 views, 40,000 views. This is Glinda, and she does an incredible job online. And we're going to steal some of her really good ideas. You know what? Chances are she got the ideas from somebody else as well. Okay, you can use AI to get the juices flowing. Now, I don't know if you like Claude or you like ChatGPT. It doesn't really matter. So you can actually put a prompt in there to help you create a video, create videos for real estate agents. And then also you can ask it to make the script for the video. You can ask it to generate a list of hooks. You can ask it to write the description, include the hashtags. It's really amazing how far the AI will get you in this process. So an example prompt is, as a real estate professional, write a high performing script for a short form social media video for first time home buyers. It's going to give you all these ideas. You pick the ones you like, you have it write you the script. It's really, in today's world, it's easy peasy. Always never take exactly what it says and just copy and paste. You want to read over it. Sometimes Chat GPT is wrong. I've seen it give out misinformation. So you want to make sure you proof it pretty well. Okay, so here's some advanced video strategies. Green screens. Does anybody know what green screens are? Okay, so that's where you can take a still shot or a video, and this is great to do with news articles too. And you can simply refer to it and talk. And what's great is once you find a shot that you like, I mean, really half the work is done. And these are very popular. The other thing is you can do like a watch and critique. You can take somebody like Clark Howard or Dave Ramsey giving advice. We kind of all love and hate him all at the same time. And then you let him say something like, you shouldn't buy a home for 5 years. And then you do a reaction to it and tell everybody why he's wrong. Listing carousel photos, there's nothing wrong with doing these. I kind of soured it, and the fact that you don't want all of your posts to be just about your business and your listings, but certainly you want to service your seller. You can make a carousel, and they're very popular. Polls are another thing that people overlook. You can give a little bit of information and say something like, the Wall Street Journal says that the real estate market's going to grow by 6% next year. What do you think? And your poll choices are, I see I put this one upside down. Just wanted to see if everybody was paying attention. So, but your poll choices can be like, I think the market will perform better or worse or about the same, and it gets people involved. Let's talk about a little lead capture strategy. You can the basics of the basics, or you can end your video with saying something like "Follow me on Instagram." You can send a link. You can ask people to click the link in your profile. Remember, it's going to have that link tree, so that's going to really hit them with all your good stuff. And a CTA. Does everybody know what a CTA is? That's a call to action. That's where you ask for a DM with a special word like house or home or buy. And I'm going to show you how powerful this can be. CTA DM. So call to action, direct message, lead generation strategy. So I did a video about DSCR loans that said, if you want more information, reply with the word invest. Does everybody know what DSCR means? So these are basically loans for investment properties where we don't verify the personal income. We qualify them off of the potential rental income of the property. They're extremely popular right now. So I put this out there and I got over 100 people. You can look at these messages that DM me the word invest, 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 invest. I had an information sheet that I sent them about DSCR loans, and I was able to pull a couple of customers from this who are really serious. Here's some other ideas for real estate. Swimming pools, use the word pool. So there's value in curating information. Now, you and I know that people can kind of DIY it, and they like to do that, and they can go on Zillow and they can sort by certain features. But as real estate agents with access to MLS, then you have much greater access to features. So one agent was telling me that they said, if you're interested in a house with a swimming pool, I have a special list of all the listings in North Fulton County that has swimming pools. If you'd like the list, DM me the word pool. Well, it was they got over 150 different people that wanted that list. And they're able to build a list of prospects. Okay, area guides. If you like all the best restaurants and things in Roswell, list of fees. If you'd like to know all the fees involved in buying a home, I can send you this exclusive list of all of the fees. Informational buyers brokers. How many of you agents work as buyers brokers? Okay, well, believe it or not, most people don't even know what that means. So having information about buyers brokers is very popular. Multifamily, I don't know if you sell many quadplexes or duplexes, but they're very popular. You can curate a list. And that was another one that I did that people were very happy to get. Okay, first-time homebuyer cheat code. So what are some things, first-time homebuyers are more worried about cash at closing and credit and so forth, and this gives them some helpful hints. Most affordable neighborhoods in a certain county, like here's all of the subdivisions in Cobb County under $400,000. Now, they can search that on Zillow, but they love to get this curated list. Also, improvements that add value. I've got a little bit of money to sell my house. Should I fix the bathrooms up or should I repaint? What's going to give me the most bang for the money? So what you do is you once they send you a DM, then you request their email and you say, what's a good email address that I can send to? They all give you their email address at that point because they want the info. You send the info with an email that's real friendly and introducing yourself, and you put together a list. So you have the name, you have kind of a little bit of information about them, what they're interested in, you have their email address, and if you work in a CRM or so forth, you put them on a drip campaign. And listen, if you close 1 out of 100, then it's well worth your time. Now, give me a list that you think. Um, let's go to Lauren. Lauren, give me something I can put on this list that might be sticky that your buyers or sellers would be interested in.
Maybe like ways new construction buyers can use their seller credits.
Okay, okay, and then what would be a, um, a hot word, keyword?
Oh man.
Credit.
Credit. Well,
Okay,
people will think like credit score, maybe
okay,
like
builder.
builder, yeah.
So DM me the word builder. You want to make it just super simple and easy. Lisa, give me something that might be a good list for buyers. You can cheat.
Um,
If you really like one of mine, you can cheat.
sorry, I had a call. A list for buyers. They may want um like a guide to showing them like how to pick the right property for them or the right area or uh, what closing costs look like or I don't know.
Closing cost. There you go. So if you want to know all the closing cost involved with getting a mortgage, then send me the word cost. Boom. You know how many people are going to react to that? A lot. So do you see how powerful this could be? Awesome. Here's one more example. So this is a CTA that I did for first-time home buyers. I had them send me the word home. And I had Chat GPT I put a little booklet together. It's actually pretty good. It's about 11 or 12 pages that kind of guides them through the process. Anyway, I had Chat GPT make it look like this. It's this nice bound book that I'm going to send them. Um, and boom, I got 21 people that emailed me in 1 week. You can see these are the emails, home buyers guide, home buyers guide. They DM me, then I asked them for their email and sent them the home buyers guide. And look, so then out of this list, most of these people are dreamers and they probably will never be able to buy a home, but there's one or two good prospects. Is that a good idea? I think so. Okay. So you've spent the time, you've made a good video. Let's turn that video into 5 pieces of content. What? So here's the thing. So I did a search and I looked, and it's most of the real estate professionals today are using these 5 different platforms. This is actually 6, and they're listed in order. Facebook's still very popular. I think Instagram will probably overtake Facebook as far as real estate traffic within the next year. But you've already made that piece of content. This just shows you how popular the different platforms are. Let's repost it. If you want to be a superstar, have Chat GPT redo your description and tell it this is going to be posted on LinkedIn. It'll redo your description in literally 5 seconds. You've done the work. Now milk that cow. Here's the method that I use. So speak directly to the viewer, like you're telling them like you're talking to one person. Get their attention in the first 3 seconds. We talked about the hooks. That's the most important. If not, they'll scroll by you. Do not introduce yourself. Hey, this is Stephen. over at Edge Finance. Okay, I've already lost you at that point. You're scrolling by. You got to go right into it. You literally should not waste 1 second. You shouldn't even say hello or anything. You should just say, first time home buyers, blah, 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 blah. You should just talk. Okay. One idea per video. These are short, so we're not going to solve the world's problems in 45 seconds. Okay. Speak sincerely. Don't sound scripted. Some people are not comfortable with just speaking without any kind of script behind them. If that's you, that's fine. Use that edits feature. Right when you log into edits, it's going to say teleprompter, and you can just copy and paste your script right in there. And so you can see it on the screen. It makes it easy. But what I like to do is I like to have a script. I read it a couple of times in my head, and then I put it aside, and then I just speak naturally. And if I switch the words up a little bit, that's okay too. So the idea is you want to be relatable, which beats polished every time. So you don't want like a whole lot of non-fluencies where you're like, and this and that. But people call for this or that. It's not a big deal. It makes you look like a real person and not a robot. Give your community what they want, not what you want to tell them. People want to know how to save money, where to find a bargain, where to find the best schools, things like that. Hey, there was one for our list, right? Schools. Um, but they're not so much interested in your listings, in your business. Be consistent, post minimum twice a week. The goal is to build credibility through engagement. So, social media engagement refers to the level of interaction, involvement, and participation between users and content on social media platforms. So, what do I mean by all that? So, views or impressions, that's pretty obvious. You want people to see the video. The longer the better. There's a 3 second minimum, or Instagram won't even give you credit for the view. Likes, those are the thumbs up and the hearts. Shares, if they share it and send it to somebody else, then that really boosts you in the algorithm as it sees your content as being super relevant and interesting. Saves, if they save it to their phone, then you've really hit the sweet spot with them. Comments, it's important that you respond to their comments. And listen, you kind of have to have a tough skin in the social media world. You're going to get people, I mean, I get people that just say, you're an idiot, or something. And it's like, well, I'm talking about, putting the home in a trust and you're calling me an idiot, so I don't know where these people come from. They just live miserable lives, but you just have to let it roll off. And, definitely anybody that gives a legit comment, you want to respond to it, even if you just say, thank you for your comment. Okay, follows, friend request. The more you expand your network, the more your videos are going to be seen. That's kind of obvious. And DMs. And I hope that I stress this enough, but DMs not only boost you in the algorithm, but that's where all the money is. That's where you start. That's the germination of that relationship is going to be when they DM you and say, hey, Steve, I really want to talk to you. I really want this information. Okay. The best way, you have to have some sort of video regimen. You can't just do this haphazardly. Here's mine. So Sunday, I shoot 3 new videos. It literally takes me 30 minutes. Consistency beats perfection every time. Sunday night, I edit them. I use edits. Then I post a new video Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to Instagram. I kind of get a feel with how the video is going to perform at that point. But it can be deceiving. I've had videos that do poorly on one platform and then take off like crazy on another. I use ChatGPT to write the descriptions. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I post the previous video to all the different platforms: Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and LinkedIn. There's some other platforms. I don't use them. If you like some other, if you like a different platform, Snapchat or whatever. It's perfectly fine. So I also post ad lib videos because stuff happens during the week and like the Fed makes a decision. So just to show you how you can never count on anything or predict anything as far as their performance goes. I did a video when the Fed didn't make a change this last was it last week, and I just said, "Hey, the Fed met today, and as we're expecting, no changes ahead." The whole video was like 9 seconds. It got several hundred views on some platform, up to 3,000 views. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the video basically said nothing. It was just notifying you that nothing happened and I have no information. So it was kind of weird. And then I did another video where I said something about the election in LA. I saw in the news they were having a mayoral race in LA, and it was going to take 15 days to get the results, but they were requesting 35 days. And I'm thinking, why would it take 35 days? So I made a video and I said, why would the mayoral race in LA take 35 days? There's states that count all the votes in 48 hours. Okay, so I got 1.8 million views on that video. People had very passionate answers about why it just takes a long time to count the votes. You have to make sure that you stay away from politics. Like Michael Jordan said, Republicans buy sneakers too. His and his point being, if you go political, you're going to get a lot of views and you're going to alienate half your customers. I mean, we're in a world where people think that, if you voted one way or another, they don't want to do business with you. It's foolish to me. Um, but that's the world we live in. So when you talk about news trends, try to, stay neutral and don't say anything too political, or you'll piss a lot of people off. Okay. Now, the other thing is to support these videos by doing IG stories. Does anybody know the difference between stories and reels on Instagram? Okay, good. So, just to give you a quick overview, so what we've been talking about up to this point are reels. Those are the videos that go that stay permanently, that are between the 15 and 60 seconds, and they help build your what they call the wall, where it has all of your videos listed. They stay in your profile account. Um, and stories are the little short things that they only last 24 hours. And they're usually kind of more, I don't know what you say, avant-garde, more ad lib. They're more stories is a way where you can show a little bit more of your personality or what's going on in your life, and give people a little bit of window into you, but they only stay around for 24 hours. What they do is they help with people following you. They help build your tent, so to speak. I kind of think of all my followers as being under my tent, and I want to get as many people under there as possible. So stories is a great thing, and you can post these every day, and you don't need to edit them, and you can make them in 10 to 20 seconds, and they really help with your traffic. So all the rules are off the table with stories, except I would still stay away from politics. But other than that, you want to take pictures of your dog or your children or playing soccer, whatever it is. So you build your community, and let's get started posting today. So I want to thank everybody for attending. Are there any questions about anything that I've gone over? Go ahead and raise your hand or put it in the chat. So did everybody learn one thing, at least one thing from this little talk? Come on, Maurice, did you learn one thing?
Yeah, I did. I learned the difference between a story and a reel.
Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, Steve, did you learn one thing?
I really like that you have a sort of system for the week. Do you believe in the thing where people are talking about posting every day, or is 3 times a week enough?
So, sure, there's nothing wrong with posting every day. For me, it's a little burdensome. If you can do it, go for it. I think 3 times a week is kind of the happy medium. After that, you get a little bit of diminishing returns.
You have messages.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a few messages. Let's see. Ryan says that he likes to post stories. It's easy, quick way to give people an opportunity to connect with you. I totally agree. Lisa Blake, what do you got?
I liked what you showed about Linktree, and I threw it into chat, said, "Hey, make my Linktree better," and it's giving me all these ideas. It's telling me how to make the short form. Like I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize you could do all that in the free version." So I'm excited about fixing that up and making it look better. And then I also changed up my bio on Instagram to make it look a little bit better.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna make it
Awesome.
cheaper.
Well, that's terrific. Well, listen, I hope that the next time you have an opportunity to refer a client to a lender, that you think of us. I mean, I love helping marketing. Marketing is kind of my passion, but we are in the mortgage business. You can always get me from my link tree, just reachsteven.com.